Consider supporting Review Tech USA on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. Skip it up and that up.
So Digital Foundry has become easily one of my favorite YouTube channels. I love watching their videos of technical analysis of different video games, how they compare ports on like the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro to the PC, their technical analysis of the port of Doom for the Nintendo Switch. They really get down to the nitty gritty and figure out what resolutions the games are running at, even if they're dynamic resolutions, and they compare which port runs better. It's really an awesome channel if you're a tech head like I am. And there's many of you out there that I know watch Digital Foundry, so I'm probably preaching to the choir right now. But Digital Foundry may be in a world of shit right now. They're facing legal action from a developer called 34 Big Things because Digital Foundry's analysis of their game Redout Lightspeed Edition for the Xbox One X, according to 34 Big Things, was wrong and inaccurate. When Digital Foundry first posted their analysis of the Xbox One X version of Redout Lightspeed Edition, they noted that the game only ran at 1080p resolution and that its frame rate was not as steady as the PS4 Pro version of Redout Lightspeed Edition. This, of course, caused the gaming community to lose their mind, and the developers behind Redout Lightspeed Edition received a lot of flack on Twitter and other social media because the game on the Xbox One X seemed inferior, according to Digital Foundry, compared to the PS4 Pro version. And because of this backlash, 34 Big Things got very angry at Digital Foundry and released a statement, and this is what they had to say. I'm going to read you part of it. Digital Foundry might have been a competent source of technical information in the past, but it might be currently going down the clickbaiting path. They published an opinionated video on our game Redout in which they talk about the Xbox One X performances, frame rate, and resolution, mentioning over and over that Redout shows a 1080p rendering for the Xbox One X version. This is a pure, straight lie. The Xbox One X got an enhancement update a couple weeks ago, which brings 4K rendering with dynamic resolution scaling to everyone, owners or not of 4K TVs. More specifically, we managed to scale the resolution between 90% and 50% of native 4K, which means the resolution goes from the upper limit of 3456 by 1944 to the lower resolution of 1920 by 1080, also confirmed by VG Tech. More technical details on this will follow in the next days when everybody will be back from holiday vacations, but meanwhile, let us spell it out. It's not 1080p. Saying that Redout renders at 1080p is plain false. This, combined with the fact that some players seem to be highly sensitive to the Xbox versus PS4 performance's tug of war, caused a rain of negative comments on our heads, all based on wrong information. We are currently looking into legal action to defend our public image, not only because we dislike being called lazy or incompetent gratuitously, but also to send a message to players and the industry. Game devs, indies especially, are amongst the most hard-working people, to the point that burnout and crunch culture in game development are widespread. Really, just stop calling them lazy to the first hiccup, and don't fabricate excuses for calling them lazy, okay? Thank you. Now, Digital Foundry responded to 34 Big Things on Twitter regarding Redout Lightspeed Edition, and this is what they had to say. Apologies to 34 Big Things for missing Redout's dynamic scaler on Xbox One X. It scales from 1080p to 1944p and doesn't lock to 1080p. Our article has been updated, and we'll be retesting the title on Monday. The first thing I want to say is to 34 Big Things. You're really going to go and sue Digital Foundry? Seriously? And I'm not white knighting for Digital Foundry, but I could see if after Digital Foundry made their analysis and you came out and proved to them, hey, look, you said our game is only running at 1080p. It's not. It's dynamic. We could prove it to you. And Richard Leadbetter, from Digital Foundry said, no, we don't believe you. We're going to just keep the video up and say it runs at 1080p. Sorry. If Digital Foundry went that route, 34 Big Things, then I could see the lawsuit. But here, in my opinion, you're just being whiny bitches, to be quite honest with you. Look, believe me, I understand firsthand the hate that you get on the internet. But it's not Digital Foundry that said, okay, go and attack 34 Big Things because their game, Redout Lightspeed Edition, is not optimized properly on the Xbox One X. They just did an analysis and they made a mistake, and when you called them out on it, they came forward and said, hey, look, we're sorry, we didn't realize we made that mistake. You move on from it. Look, you're always going to get hate on the internet, 34 Big Things. You're going to make another game and people are going to give you hate for it for some other reason. You have to deal with it. You attacking Digital Foundry because they made one analysis video where there was a mistake in it and trying to go after them legally is just awful. And if you win this lawsuit, which I don't think you are, it sets a terrible precedent. So anytime someone makes a mistake, even if they're honest about it and admit to the fact they make a mistake, their whole entire career could be destroyed or damaged. That's the precedent you want to set, 34 Big Things? Look, I've made plenty of mistakes before, and I'm sure I will in the future too. But when I make mistakes, I generally admit to them if I feel that I did make a mistake. Everyone's human. Everyone's going to make mistakes. I'm sure Digital Foundry in the future, even with how thorough they are going to make other mistakes. People shouldn't be buried because they're human beings. And I'm tired of this culture that seems like it has come around due to the internet, where everyone wants to destroy someone else's life because they've made a mistake. If they don't come, look, if, like I said to you, if Digital Foundry didn't come forward with it, or they denied it and still stuck to their guns, even though they made this mistake and made your game look bad, that would be different. But they said, hey, look, we made an honest mistake. We're sorry about it. We're going to reanalyze the game. Just move on. Just move forward. You're going to get hate on the internet, 34 Big Things. Deal with it. And if you can't, find another career. And you know what may be even worse than 34 Big Things threatening legal action against Digital Foundry? The Xbox One and Xbox One X fanboys. They are coming out and flipping out with YouTube videos saying, look, I told you Digital Foundry has a bias against the Xbox One and Xbox One X. Here's proof. One video they made a mistake in is proof. They hate Xbox. They don't like it. It's a secret vendetta they have against Microsoft and Xbox. Why that is, they don't have a valid reason, just reasons. That's it. They just hate Xbox. So anytime they say anything negative about Xbox, it's not them being objective. It's not them just saying, hey, the Xbox One version of a game looks inferior to the PS4 version or whatever the case may be. No. It's not them actually doing a technical analysis. They just hate Microsoft. And here's proof. This one time they screwed up is proof. There you go. That's it. We don't have to believe anything Digital Foundry ever says again. Now as Xbox One fanboys, we could sleep better at night. Isn't that wonderful? I hate fanboyism. I can't stand it. I remember when the Xbox One X first came out, and they did an analysis of Titanfall on the Xbox One X, and they said it had issues. They said the frame pacing was off, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And I'm not going to name the person on Twitter, because it's just not what I do. This person said, they said Titanfall 2 doesn't run good on the Xbox One X. They expected more. They are obviously PlayStation fanboys. And this person meant it, even though there was other videos like Shadow of War where they said the Xbox One X version is vastly superior to the PS4 Pro version. That video was out there as well, and other videos as well, saying games look better on the Xbox One X. But because at the time, one game didn't look as good, and it's been patched since, Titanfall 2, didn't look as good or run as good in the Xbox One X compared to the PS4 Pro, obviously Digital Foundry's in bed with Sony because of one video. Even though there was other videos where they were saying that games look better on the Xbox One X. I can't. How please explain to me, why do you, when you see reality, how do you live where here's reality, you're going to take that reality and filter it into what you want to hear? Why? Is that exhausting? Like, do you wake up and be like, I'm going to be totally pathetic today and pledge my allegiance to a soulless corporation that doesn't give a shit about me? So if there's anything negative said about them, I'm obviously going to attack the person that said it or hate the person that said it. Do you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I'm really that pathetic. I don't understand. It's the same with politics. I don't get it. How do you, there's facts. Facts and numbers are in front of you, but I don't want to believe those facts. Those facts I don't want to believe. The earth is flat, even though there's countless evidence that the earth is not flat. I am a fan of the earth being flat, even though it's not flat, so I'm only going to believe things that tell me that the earth is flat, even though there's factual evidence that the earth is not fucking flat. How do you exist? How are you that stupid? Look, okay, Digital Foundry made a mistake. I've made countless mistakes myself. All right. If they start doing this all the time, if it happens on a consistent basis, you know what? Then my attitude towards them will change. But Digital Foundry, just like you, they're human beings, and they're going to make mistakes. I'm going to continue to make mistakes. I'm tired of living in this era that we're going through right now, where if anyone is not completely perfect all the time, we feel this need to destroy them. Because until you walk on water yourself, you need to shut your goddamn mouth. And 34 big things, I'll get back to you right now real quick before I end this video. Yes, they made a mistake. They admitted to their mistake. There's no reason to go out there and sue them because there's shitheads on the internet that are giving you flack. Because you're going to deal with more flack in the future. And like I said previously in this video, if you can't handle it, find another career path. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. And P.S. Do not bother 34 big things on social media. It is stupid, immature, and unnecessary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. And to hear more content like this, make sure to subscribe to Review Tech USA.